About your
Squirrel?
tell them about the squirrel.
All right. When I was a kid, I don't know, maybe about 11 or 12, somewhere around that, I was sitting in the front of the house with my mother. My mother used to sit always in front of the house. That was the only place she used to go, from the front of the house to back in the house. So I'm sitting there and talking to her, and it seemed to be a dark, cloudy day. It seemed like it was ready to rain or something. We didn't hear no lightning or thunder, but it got really, really dark and it got windy. And I'm talking to her. All of a sudden, I look in the middle, no cars, no nothing. It was early in the morning. I look in the middle of the street and I see something. I thought it was a bag that the wind blew. All of a sudden, it wasn't a bag. It was a big squirrel. I says, "Wow, look at that! It's a squirrel." The squirrel, I went over to the squirrel and he started to run. As he ran, I ran. I kept running and running. He kept running and running. He kept running. He did okay because he's got 4 legs. I only got 2. But we ran and ran and ran, got almost by the schoolyard. And all of a sudden, he went behind these garbage.
You crossed the streets.
Oh yeah, we crossed a couple of streets.
You crossed Metropolitan Avenue.
Oh yeah.
So just ran across the traffic.
Well, it wasn't much because it was early in the morning. There was really nobody there. I don't know. It must have been like daybreak or something like that. So anyway, I'm running.
It's like
around.
3 blocks already.
Right. So I'm not tired because when you're young, you're stupid. You don't think of these things or nothing. All of a sudden, the squirrel ran and he went behind the garbage cans. And I says, "I gotta get you." And I went behind the garbage. I'm trying to get him. All of a sudden, he ran up and there was one of these pipes that the oil company put the oil in.
Yeah.
So he got caught there. He couldn't run now because he got the garbage can and the oil pipe. So I grabbed him and I got him and I got my hand around his head and I got my hand around his feet because the feet was trying to, push my hand. And I got him like that, and all of a sudden my thumb wound up going in his mouth. Ah, look at that, he's got me, And somehow or another, I don't know how or what, I wind up getting my thumb out. Now I see it's cut and it's bleeding. I said, okay, you're still a stupid kid, you don't know anything better. I got a squirrel. What am I going to do with the squirrel? Why did I even chase the squirrel? I don't know. I wasn't going to keep it. I got no place to keep it. Now I'm walking in the street, and I still got the squirrel, and I'm happy that I got the squirrel. All of a sudden, I see my finger going back in again. Now it goes back in. Now I'm trying to get out. Don't want to get out. Now I'm saying, now I'm pulling the thing, and it still don't want to get out. I'm hitting it against the floor, believe it or not, and it still don't want to get out. I'm smacking it, no matter what you do, it don't want to get out. Somehow or another, finally, lets go after a long, long time. Now I see the bone. The bone is, already there, bleeding like crazy. And I start, I don't know if I was crying or not, but anyway, the squirrel went about his business, and I went home, and I showed my mother. My mother says, "You better go to the hospital because those things got rabies and stuff like that." So I wound up going to the hospital. I don't know if somebody drove me. I even forgot how I got there. But I got in the hospital, and now the people wanted to get that squirrel to see if it had rabies. If it had rabies, I had to get at that time, 21 shots in the belly or something like that. So anyway, that was the story. That's the whole story. They wound up, they didn't give me any rabies shots. They just let me go like that, and that was it. Whatever they gave me, they gave me.
I never heard that story.
I don't know if they even stitched me up. I don't remember.
But picture it. Running to Hope Street, they make a
right.
right.
As he's saying it, I'm
running through Metropolitan. I wind up catching him in that store, that grocery store that used to be on the corner of the school.
North Fifth and Roebling?
Well, after you go down, you go down Roebling, the last block.
Yeah,
then you got the school.
Right, North.
Is that what it is? North Fifth. That was the garbage cans that he went around. He went around the garbage cans over there, and that's how I got him. And that's the story of my squirrel.